Hi guys, in today's video I'll show you how to cast on with the long tail method. With the long tail we are going to use up this yarn to create stitches. To begin with, I form some sort of triangle with my fingers. I somewhat tied these ends and I'll be working with this tree here. For the first stitch we are actually making two. You don't need to do any loop, you just do like so, and then under and above the other one. Release your finger and pull. Here we have two stitches. That's only for the beginning. Now we have some sort of heart shape here, and we repeat the same motions, but now we'll be casting on stitch by stitch. So first one, I take my needle tip and put it under the closest thread of yarn to me, and then I turn my fingers and I put the needle above the second one and release my finger, pull it tighter. Here we have 3 stitches now. Again, I put my needle under, then I turn my fingers and put the needle above. I release the loop and tighten the yarn. Under and above. Release. Under, above, and release. Now I'm doing it quicker as I normally do. What's important to know about this method, that the usage of the yarn depends on the positioning of your yarn. For example, here this end will be used less than amount of this yarn, but if we switch positions and I'll be using this thread first, then I'll be using up more of this yarn than the one in the bowl. It is possible to do another way around, as I just showed you, but keep in mind that the most of the usage would be from this end, and then the amount of yarn you need on the loose end should be adjusted accordingly. So if you think that you pull way too much yarn and you think that there would be a lot left in this end, you can just cast on by using this end. Basically, the thread that is here making this some sort of braid, and the thread that positioned here is making the main loop. Let me demonstrate here. So you see, this thread is making this loop. which is much bigger than the braid which formed by this thread. So you can go both ways, but just keep in mind this trick that if you have way too much left on this side, you can cast on like this by positioning this yarn on your second finger and the yarn from the ball on your bigger finger. You see, it looks like we're using more of this yarn, but in reality, when we cast on the loop, you see that this is formed from this yarn. So if you feel like you need to use up this tail, feel free to switch around. Just keep in mind that it might be slightly visible, like you see it's like this teeny tiny bump here, like maybe some curl, but it's not very visible. And once you turn your knitting, and it is almost unnoticeable. So here you have a choice. Personally, I prefer to use up what I have in the bowl, because you normally cast on a lot of stitches, and it's hard to know how many would be, so I prefer to use up this so it will last longer, because this tail used not as much as this part of the yarn. But yeah, basically that's how it looks. And let me show you one more time how I'm doing it. You just make some sort of triangle, and then you pick up a thread like so, placing needle underneath your big finger yarn, and then over the other finger and releasing. It's quite simple, and this is the only method you need to know. It's very universal. It's good for any type of garment you wish to knit, including beanies. It is somewhat elastic, it is quite easy, and after a little bit of practice, you'll be a master of this technique. Wish you good luck, guys, and for more tips like this, please check out my other videos. And if you would like to knit step-by-step tutorials with me, consider subscribing, as I'm releasing more of the knitting tutorials and patterns on my channel. So stay tuned and have a nice day. See you in my next one.